Witchfire is a medieval, dark fantasy, roguelike, souls-like extraction shooter with fucking guns. I mean, the description of this game makes it sound like Campbell's Soup is trying to make an alphabet spaghetti can, but it's just game genres, and I love it. You play as a witch hunter, hell-bent on slaying witches and their simps in exchange for gold and cool new drip. Alright, so this might be a bit confusing, but I'm just gonna get like a game genre translator in here. I mean, if you don't get it now, you're probably just gonna have to figure it out. I don't know. Pick your weapons, spells, and what doodads to hang on your friendship bracelet. Then hop inside Bloody Mary's back door and choose which Vietnamese village you want to plunder. Keep in mind, each one of these areas have their own nits and knacks, personalities that determine how fucked you are if you enter them. Every map has different enemies, secrets, mini-bosses, mechanics, and its own unique monument that serves as a Venus flytrap for any overconfident witch hunters. That's you! Being a Souls-like extraction shooter, you can leave at any point you want. If you're a fucking pussy. But once you get punished for not being a fucking pussy, you can come back and get all the shit you lost. The objective of each run can be anything you choose, like collecting Witchfire, gold, finding secrets, other useful items, or just leveling up your weapons. That means when you inevitably get shit canned, it's usually your own fault because you overextended or were somewhere where you really shouldn't be, something that you should already have a lot of experience with. Now you might be wondering, why does a dark fantasy setting have guns? And I'm gonna turn that question around on you. How come these guys can do this? How does Redman over here work on Bluetooth? And who decided these fuckers have the right to live? The enemies play dirty, so you better develop a fucking scat fetish before you finish this game, in the form of these sexy ass fire wands. These ain't your usual AAA guns, where you have 3 guns that are actually fun, and like 20 that are just copy-pasted over and over again. This game recognizes that burst damage is the best damage. If just seeing these gas weren't enough to make your balls drop, each one of them has 3 different upgrades you get for just using them. These make every single gun a fucking joy to use and level up. And even further sets every gun apart. You want a sniper that can charge up a shot to peek out of cover and deal devastating burst damage? How about the one that refunds you bullets just for hitting headshots? Fuck it, sniper that just burns enemies for having them in your sight. Going through each one of these beauties would take forever, and I might can only get so wrecked before it starts causing problems, alright? So I'm going to keep this short by telling you about my current favorite, a handheld trebuchet that shoots fucking wooden stakes. Whoever decided to give this the lowest drop-off range in the game deserves the sloppiest of toffee. That means the only limiting factor in the range of this weapon is your own skill. And if shooting an arm-sized stick at someone's head and impaling them on the terrain wasn't good enough, we haven't even talked about the upgrades yet. First upgrade does more damage against stunned enemies. It's pretty shit. The second upgrade makes the stake catch fire when it flies for about 5 meters or so and deal splash damage when it hits the ground. This is the kind of awesome shit I'm fucking talking about here. And the last upgrade pushes this gun into orgasmic territory by making critical hits shock nearby enemies. Meaning this thing is one of the best ranged and AoE weapons, and it's a fucking wooden stake launcher. A weapon so beautiful and badass it would make Blade blush. Most of the combat revolves around trying not to get overwhelmed. A lot of the enemies have well choreographed, hard-hitting attacks that need line of sight. So your best shot is trying to break up the fight into small segments and taking each enemy out one by one. Dodging, jumping, and moving behind cover will pretty much let you deal with most enemies in the game. Meaning fights become like a dance, a calming waltz where you play the part of a murderous ballerina. Problem being, you have stamina, so you can click-clack your magic shoes all you want for a while until it runs out. Other than hunting for those juicy secrets, you'll be spending most of your time— who the fuck just messaged me? Walking around the map and going to these skull things. Each one of these skull icons shows you where there are enemies to kill, and the more the skull looks like a metal album cover, the more enemies will spawn. Killing every enemy gives you the choice between some passive abilities that you keep until you extract, or, These can range from game-breaking to literally fucking useless, depending on what gear you got. Get a lot of fire upgrades and have no fire weapons sucks to suck, bucko. And the only real difference between when you enter a run and when you leave a run are these upgrades. Meaning you're free to hop into the hardest area from the very start and start tearing shit up if you feel confident enough. Or you could just ignore all the fights together and just go do whatever you came here to do. Checking off each one of your objectives like a macabre shopping list. There's also no limit to how many skulls can spawn next to each other, so good luck with that one, champ. After a few runs, you might be starting to feel a bit self-confident, but you're on level 0. Soon enough, you're gonna have to increase your... Fuck it, I'm calling it Gnostic. I'm dyslexic, deal with it. I called this thing Layla for the longest time. I don't want to hear it. Your Gnostic level is kind of like Terraria hard mode, only that there's like 4 of them, I think. As your Gnostic level increases, you'll unlock more maps, be able to banish more hidden seals around the map, and more events will start popping up in places you've already been. But don't go around maxing that thing out as soon as you can, because every time you level up, they do too. Meaning, if you try to roll up with Gnostic level 0 energy after reaching Gnostic level 2, you're gonna learn what your own teeth taste like. New enemies, new bosses, new locations, new lactations. You should probably see a doctor, man. Then there's spells! Heavy spells, the mask, brewing potions. Look, don't worry about any of that. The game's kind of like Fear and Hunger in that you can't really say too much about it, since half the gameplay is figuring out how stuff works for yourself. The game is in early access, but not gonna lie, seeing that a game is in the early access makes me so happy, since that means the devs are planning on adding more stuff to it. This is definitely a game I want to come back to in a year or two to see what the devs have brewed up, but I can already tell you that the stuff that's already here is pretty good. The game is made by a small team, it's fun, it's fast, it has more secrets than your Rule 34 account. Get the game and become a witch hunter yourself. So that's another month and a half long project done. Feels good, but also, you know, fuck man. Sorry for the dip in quality. I had to get this out here before Christmas because I didn't want this to sit in the limbo like some of the other ones have. I even had to cut out this entire part about the demonic weapons, but you know, think BFG and you're halfway there. Anyway, it's been a fun but stressful year. I've learned a lot, had a lot of fun doing this, but I think it's time for me to take a break. There hasn't been a day since I started this that I haven't thought about editing at least once a day, and it's been taking its toll on me. I've been losing motivation, I've been feeling it, but I am hoping that after a small vacation, I can get back into the swing of things. Might just continue my vacation of playing old ass games again, or learn some 3D modeling, who knows. And when I come back, just so you know, I might not be doing a game review. I might just do some other shit. I've been having some other shit in the backworks, thinking about doing something, but I haven't decided yet. Either way, I want to get this out before my favorite season ended. Happy winter. Bye.